CBC Sports.
Tonight, Road to the Olympic Games runs through Boston. The figure skating world gathers for its season summit. So much is at stake. Three-time world champion Patrick Chan tries to complete his comeback story. But his rivals, the defending world champion Javier Fernandez and Olympic champion Yuzuru Hanyu, vow to stand in his way. Can Gracie Gold become the first American woman to win in a decade and do it on home ice? The Olympic champions in pairs, Tatiana Volososhar and Maxim Trankov, are here to stake their claim. But eager to repeat as world champions are Canada's Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford. And in the big dance, Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Poget are on the threshold of continuing a great Canadian figure skating tradition. It's all ahead on Road to the Olympic Games on CBC. Road to the Olympic Games, presented by Petro-Canada. Springtime in Boston, Massachusetts, one of the oldest and most historic cities in the United States. A city of sport where Patriots, Celtics, Red Sox, and Bruins play. Boston is a city of revolution and resolution, and perhaps, as winter recedes, a city of renaissance for a pursuit which has long been a passion for Americans, namely figure skating. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ice at the Garden in Boston. Road to the Olympic Games and the 2016 World Figure Skating Championships on CBC. I'm Scott Russell. This is the first time the United States has hosted these championships since 2009 in Los Angeles, and you can feel the energy coming from the ice. The next Olympic Winter Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea are less than 2 years away, and everybody's jockeying for position. And there is so much at stake in each of figure skating's 4 disciplines. In the ice dance, Canadian contenders are hoping to continue a long string of success at the World Championships. In the pairs, the Canadians are the world champions, but they're desperately trying to hold off their advancing rivals. In the ladies' competition, a local hero born in Boston is trying to restore some past glory to her sport. And tonight, the men's competition begins with the short program. A 3-time world champion from Canada is trying to write a successful comeback story. Patrick Chan is 25 years of age, and he's in the lion's den tonight. He's had a roller coaster season, and now he must face his rivals, the Olympic champion Yuzuru Hanyu of Japan and the reigning world champion Javier Fernandez of Spain. Chan will have to be great tonight here in Boston to get the job done. Let's advance the story now and send it to the booth with Andy Petrillo, 4-time world champion Kurt Browning, and Olympic coach Carol Lane.
Scott, that date you mentioned, 2009 in LA, that was the first time Patrick Chan won a world medal. That was a silver. In fact, he was a 2-time silver medalist before becoming a 3-time world champion. This is his comeback season after taking all of last year off. Kurt, how would you assess it?
It hasn't been easy to come back. The rest of the group had momentum, and they changed the sport in only 1 year. Now it's Quadville, multiple quads, and he has struggled to catch back up, especially in the short program, and that's where it's been giving him trouble. Now, he's put up some big scores this year, which means he can do it. He can be on the podium here at this Worlds, but the short program has really been catching him. And so what we've seen is mistakes that have really kept him from being able to capitalize on a great long. We're seeing here National Championships, January, Vintage Chan. And then about a month later at the 4 Continents Championships, not as much confidence. That's what we've been hearing is happening in his practices at home, and that is what we've been seeing this week in practice as well. If he does it this week, it'll be more by guts than a solid training regime coming in.
We need the chantastic Patrick this week, that's for sure.
He needs it, yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Well, this is how incredible Patrick Chan has been, because when you look at the top scores when it comes to men, he is still in the top 5. You can see him there sitting in 4th, which shows that he was ahead of his time. But at the same time, as you mentioned, Kurt, it does show how the rest of the field has caught up when you also see the marks of Hanyu and Fernandez. And let's talk about Hanyu, especially that mark he put up the Grand Prix final, or I should even say at NHK Trophy. Before
he did it
that,
twice.
He did it twice. He became the first skater to break the 300-point barrier, and that was an otherworldly body experience that he had there, Carol.
Well, he's basically taken himself to a place where he's pretty much unbeatable. It's like he wakes up every morning and goes, what can I do today that nobody else in the world can do?
And do it, yeah, just do it. And you know what? If anyone else wins a world title at this competition, it'll be because he gifted it to him. That'll be the only way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, let's not also forget the reigning world champion. That would be Javi Hernandez, the first time a Spaniard has won a world title. He's had a great season as well. He, too, broke the 300-point barrier. That was at Euros, winning that title once again.
And I think his success is by being able to capitalize on all his natural talent and charm. Brian Orser and their camp have been able to do that for him.
So let's take a look at the first flight of skaters that we will be seeing. There is the 2015 Canadian national champ, Nam Nguyen. We will see him. Adam Rippon is the reigning national U.S. champion. And there is Boy Yang Jin. He is the one Hanyu credits for pushing him, because Boy Yang Jin, we call him
Boing Boing
Jin, because he does so many quads. And Yuzuru Hanyu says that's the reason why I am pushing myself to be the best this season. And let's see if this man can bring the house down. We've seen him do it many, many times this season.
Well, he could probably build the house.
A very big house.
A very big house.
Not quite sure what he was saying to himself before taking to the ice there. We saw his little pre-skate ritual.
That was kind of intense.
Getting himself pumped up. It really was intense. But it's worked for him.
Nobody transfers speed across the ice into air time like he does.
No.
And nobody flows out of his jumps like he does.
Looking at his face, I don't even think he's here anymore.
Everybody else is good, but he is something special and incredible.
was out for revenge. Lost his world title to Fernandez, and he's made a statement that he wants it back. Yuzuru Hanyu right now basking in the afterglow. We'll have his marks when we return. The crowd still on their feet here inside the garden. Yuzuru Hanyu putting on quite the performance. And you know, we've already seen him set records this year. Could he possibly set another one?
If this doesn't break the record, I'll be really shocked.
Me too.
There is such a thing as a perfect score for an element. And I think the triple axel and the quad toe combination deserve a perfect score. And the quad Salchow, I think you're having a look at it here. The quad, yes, from a spread eagle, difficult entrance, a tiny bit of a lean in the air, which he corrects. In the air, it's not perfect, believe it or not. There you go, tiny correction with the hip. Look at that. And then show the judges how much control you have with doing spread eagle. So, I don't know. If you never have seen ice before, let alone skating, you would look at this and think that is something special. He did not deserve to do the second triple.
No.
He was way too low.
Nobody else could have done that at all.
Yeah. It looked like he needed a stool to sit on, but no, I'm just going to triple.
And the triple axel going in from a back outside counter turn. How difficult is that on top of the triple axel?
But it's the flow and the control out of his jumps. Look at how far that free leg reaches up into the sky, and then the body comes up to join it. It's so patient, so pure.
It's like he's on a mission to be not just the best in the world, but the best there has ever been.
Too late. He already is. And you know what? Not everybody gets him. Like, some people think that, you know, it's, you know, they find him actually somewhat kind of boring. How's that boring? The intensity?
How is that boring? Look at that face.
And I think the look on Brian Norris's face when he was skating back towards Brian was the best. Just a slight shake and a smile going, I don't know how you do it, kid.
Well, that was a frightening face, but now he's got Winnie the Pooh with him.
All is good.
100.
He's done it again.
Now, that actually doesn't match his season's best, 110.95, which is a record, but yeah, he'll take that.
Yeah, he's pretty good, really.
You know what? It was because that one combination was just a little low in the knee before he jumped.
Yeah.
Well, you better just fix that.
Picky, picky, picky.
Well, we always said that if Yuzuru Hanyu was going to lose this, it's because he would do something wrong and he would gift it. But he's not wrapping a bow on anything for anyone. No. This was his moment.
And I guess what's hard to really understand, even for somebody who's skated his whole life, is how do you do a program with such technical difficulty at such a high level, with the entrances to the jumps, with the exits to the jumps, the flow, musicality, intensity, connection with the audience, and I don't have time to keep going.
He's just the magical unicorn of skating. That's how he does it.
Well, we cannot wait to see the free and what he can put together there and possibly regain that world title. Let's go back now ringside with Scott.